Ladies and gents, welcome to the platform. Next to me, I've got Katlego Malatji, who does a lot of work behind the scenes in the media and media industry in general, specifically music. So today we're gonna chat to him about some insights about music. You guys are always asking me questions like how to get a deal, about the music and all that. And he's the perfect man, because I'm not qualified. But before we get into it, I'm gonna let him introduce himself. So how are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm all right. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Before we get into it, can you just tell us about the work that you've done? Because I think a lot of people have seen your work, but they don't know like the guy behind it. Can you just talk a bit about some of it?
Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm a lawyer by profession. I am an entertainment lawyer. I started off in the event space. Founded a company called Homecoming Events. So that's pretty much where everything starts in terms of my relationship with the entertainment industry, and from there, we're able to branch out with a legal consultancy for entertainment law called TaylorMade Legal Solutions, which represents quite a number of South
Mm.
Africa's prominent talent. And yeah, stuff just came out from there. Zanzu nightclub, there's stuff everywhere. But yeah, I work at Sony now. Sorry, I head up legal and business affairs at Sony Music now. Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully, when we have enough, if we have enough time, we're gonna circle back to that. But I think the most important question that I always get on my platform is like, how to get a record deal. So if you were to advise like an artist on how to get a deal, what tips would you give them?
So I mean, obviously, I'm more always on the legal side of things.
Mm,
And circumstances differ, but if I were to blanket an objective view, I'd say understand the deals first.
mm,
Understand two things: understand deals and understand your where you are as an artist.
mm,
And from there, you'd be able to make the right decision based on what you need. Because you see, you'll get artists who've made it, guys coming out
mm,
of a 6 album
mm,
artist record label deal saying, "Oh yeah, own your masters," but that's a guy who's built his entire
mm,
profile. He's got a name, he's got
mm,
infrastructure, he's got everything, and he can now, go independent and do a license or a distribution.
mm,
Um, then you get a upcoming guy with nothing and just, just a little bit of talent saying, "Oh, I insist on owning my masters," and it's like, okay, what does that actually mean? So you have to
mm,
research the deals. And I mean, I'm happy for us to do another segment another day where we actually go in depth into the different types of deals: distribution license,
mm,
artist deal, joint venture, what they
mm,
look like, what they mean. But the internet's also there, it's available.
mm,
There's lots of platforms where people can use that to learn and understand what does this deal mean, what does it come with? So what
mm,
does it give me, and what do I give up in return for it?
mm,
And then you look at your career and say, okay, but what does my career need? So
mm,
there's artists who have always needed that push, and
mm,
they've had to trade off something to get it. And when they
mm,
get to the right place, it's okay. This is where my career is now. Now I
mm,
can relook doing different types of deals. So understand contracts
mhm,
and understand where you are in your career, and
mm,
merge the two to understand what contract best suits where you
mm.
find yourself. Yep.
Like I would say every year or every maybe 6 months, there's a big story about an artist coming out saying, "Ish, I'm broke, but I had a big song or whatever." And like just this past week alone, Ndabayase Dubai was complaining about Mali and Ingi, and then there was a big thing between. And obviously, that's not you guys. That's ambitious. But my point is now, like, is there such like what's a good deal? Like, is there such thing as a good contract between an artist and a record label? And what are the things like if people want to avoid being in the shoes of Ntabi Dubai? Like, what do you look out for? I know it's a vague question, but can just a bit of guidance.
Look, I think here's the reality is that everyone's looking for the perfect deal, and this is why um treating your talent as a profession is very
Mm,
important. Because
mm,
treating your talent as a profession means you invest in the right things, you get the right people, and um lawyers, accountants, managers, people that can
Mm,
help you make sense of the
mm,
commercial transactions that you're getting into.
mm,
People get money and they want to buy cars, buy houses and stuff, but that's why you fall into these weird situations because you don't understand. Somebody's expecting R1 million to come out of the music, and you don't
mm,
realize that the kind of music deal you sign doesn't really
mm,
generate that kind of money for you. So you need to be smarter about your publishing money or your live
mm,
music money. And I'd say professionalize. We're
mm,
getting more and more people coming into the space.
mm,
When we started TaylorMade, one of our biggest problems was just guys just didn't see the value of spending money on it. But if
mm,
I look at a lot of the most successful artists in South Africa today, it's
mm,
guys who've either used us or used other legal or professional teams, guys who've
mm,
got managers, guys who've got lawyers, guys who've
mm,
got accountants,
mm,
and those are the labels that are thriving.
mm,
Thriving. You look at your piano hubs, your new money gangs, your blackest browns, how they were able to turn everything around. How you look anyway,
mm,
folk at 25K. All these
mm,
guys have professional
mm,
teams around them who help them to make sense of things that they might not
mm,
understand. And so where you invest your time, where you invest your money,
mm,
so there's no perfect contract.
mm,
And there's a good deal for you based on
mm,
where you are, based on where you're trying to go, and based on how you understand it to manage your expectation
mm,
for career building because it's a career, not a
mm,
hobby. Yeah.
mm. No, no, no. I understand. So basically, what you're saying is that it's not a cut and paste. You need to understand where you are, what you need, and make wise decisions based on your situation. Is that what you're saying as an artist?
Absolutely. So you need to understand that. You need to
Mm,
understand where you stand because everybody's looking for someone to tell you, oh, I want the same deal as Drake got. Well, you're just not in the same place as Drake was.
mm,
It's not the same circumstances. So
mm,
we could give you the same deal as Drake
mm,
and it would still not work out for you because you
mm.
need different things. So you need to be able to understand where your career trajectory, where everything slots into your career trajectory and what do you need, when, why, and how.
Mm. And can you just tell us about, some of the artists that TaylorMade has worked with, and, how have you guys, helped to, move artists forward?
I don't know. I look. TaylorMade was probably like the most exciting phase of my life. We did some very cool deals. From starting with Cooley, getting Reese out of Ambitious,
Oh, you,
getting
you did that?
yeah, we did that. Getting Pori out of Sony,
Yeah.
getting Pori back into Sony, doing the Kabza, you
Mm,
know, um, being able to get the whole Scorpion Kings out. We've worked on a lot of, fascinating, cool cases. We just did the AKA Bry show. Well, TaylorMade just did the AKA Bry show
mm,
matter, but it started when I was, there
mm,
still before I moved over. So I think we've had our hands in a lot of uh, groundbreaking matters. I
mm.
saw recently they did Lady Do, getting Lady Do free from her management.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it was an exciting time. So it's just interesting to see where those people's careers go afterwards. It's the
Mm,
moment they professionalize and they get the right people
mm-hmm.
in, it helps to propel them and streamline them. So yeah.
The ones that you can talk about, like, because I'm fascinated, like you just mentioned, like a bunch of deals that I think are interesting. Which one can you talk about? That, like, can you talk about the Lady Do one? Like, what happened there, and how did you guys
So
manage to
the
get her
lady
out?
do the lady do what happened after I'd left TaylorMade.
Mm,
So I can't speak on it on
mm.
behalf of TaylorMade, but from what I hear. Yeah, from what I hear, she just wasn't happy. The relationship wasn't working out, and I think the guys did try to sort of mediate. It didn't quite
Mm,
work out, and then you do the crafty
mm,
deals. Young Stunner was actually a very cool one,
mhm.
very fascinating. Um, he was in a deal. It's actually quite. He was in a deal, and then we had to work that, and then he wasn't in a deal, and then it's free.
Yeah,
It's the fun stuff. It's
yeah.
the fun background stuff. But it's always just interesting to see how it ties out to career trajectory because the
Mm,
moment you move, we started working with Kabza, and within 3 months
mm,
he was gone. We
mm,
started working with Stunner, 3 months,
Mm,
gone. There's all these interesting, interesting links
mm,
between professionalization and growth. Yeah.
mm. I think you can write a really cool book or a dope docu,
Yeah.
about the music thing. But yeah, I don't want to keep you here for too long. My second last question is, looking at the state of Amapiano right now, from a legal point of view, where do you think the industry is going?
I think Amapiano is probably the most revolutionary genre group to come out of South Africa because they're the one group that did things right.
Mm,
They're paying out their own royalties. They manage, they were able to resolve the whole black as brown situation. You didn't see it go to court. Everybody's
mm,
off doing their own thing because everybody just allowed the legal process
mm,
to take place. They took advice. Those are guys that are actively on active legal retainers,
mm,
literally handling legal matters professionally.
mm,
Um, I can't really think of any successful Amapiano act that's not legally represented
mm,
right now. Uh, Anybody, you
mm,
pick the Melo Sleazy, Devin Gogo, the whole piano, the whole new
mm,
money, the whole Black is Brown. Everybody, these guys are all
mm,
represented, and it's showing. They've
mm,
professionalized, and therefore their business is able to move, and they're not
mm,
stuck in disputes, and they're not fighting about royalties, and
mm,
they're able to work and collaborate and make profit,
mm,
and that's the goal. So I think Amapiano is quite
mm,
exemplary. And when the other genres begin to pick back up, I think they do well to learn
mm.
from that. Yeah.
That's very powerful. Lastly, they say you need 1 million streams to make 30K. So can you tell us about the numbers? Because I think it's so confusing, man. I've interviewed some guys behind the scenes, and they say they've paid out millions to South African artists, particularly piano artists. My question is, can you make millions from streams? And are there any local acts that have made millions from streams?
Yeah, there's many millionaires in South Africa right now. Many guys who made a lot of money from
Mm.
the music
Streams.
streams. That's why the distributors have
Mm.
had such a good run. The guys are making money.
Mm.
It's the deals that they sign to get access to that money that
Mm.
complicates things. Money
Mm.
is there. We
Mm.
wouldn't be here. It's a business for everybody. It's a
Mm.
commercial transaction for everybody. So make money, make good music, you
Mm.
make good money.
Okay. So guys, you can make millions from streaming. Thank you so much. I know I said it was the last question, but for you as someone that's invested in the industry, like you mentioned, homecoming events. You mentioned TaylorMade, and now you're in Sony. Like, what is the future looking like for you?
It's limitless, man.
Mm,
I can do anything.
mm,
I can do anything. And got plans with a couple of companies working on building with a couple of people in the industry. But it's limitless. But for me, the bottom line at the end of the day is going to be say, are the moves that we are making adding value? Are they
mm,
growing the industry? Are they creating more opportunities for growth in the industry? And are they advancing the interests of the black creative?
mm,
And that's what I intend to do. I think the legacy I intend to
mm,
leave. Yeah. Yeah.
mm. Thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
Ah,
Enjoy your
danke,
day.
danke. Sasha.